Hi and welcome back to Rad Riders. I wanted some pannier racks for the new Himalayan 450, but my local dealer's not stocking them, can't get them as yet. So if you want them, you're going to have to go where they're built, and that's India. So I went on eBay, I had a look what deals was out there. So I paid my money and I waited 5 days and they came this morning. Here's the box. I've already opened it because I'm not a big fan of the unboxing. However, I do need to check what's in there before I do this video. It wouldn't work out too well if there's parts missing. Some reflectors, a box of fixtures and fittings, nicely packed, and of course the pannier rails. These are directly from Royal Enfield in India, and the tubular steel and very, very, very good solid construction. But if you're going to get them what's built specific for the bike. And as I mentioned, these are from Royal Enfield direct in India. The welds are not the prettiest, but again, they're of real solid construction and they're going to hold up. So let's get these on the bike and see how they look. So this is what's inside the box. You've got the pannier rails ×2, mounting bolts. I should imagine these will be the extended bolts in order to fit on the original fittings, and smaller bolts, and some metal spacers. Very good quality. I'm not sure what the reflectors are for. Well, obviously they're for reflecting. Offering these up to the original fittings. The top 2 bolts, this one and this one, line up. And then down here, I'll just get the camera closer. Is a hole which is already made, which should be pretty straightforward. So that's a 6 hex bolt. Into a 10mm socket. And a wrench. And there's a bolt on the back. It looks like I'm going to have to take off this rear assembly just to get a purchase on the nut on the back. So I'll remove this and come back shortly. So we need to remove the seat, undo these 2 10mm bolts, and then underneath we've got 2 more torques. That's a 5mm. So we'll get those off and then it should release. So with these 2 removed, the old tail assembly comes away, giving you access to these bolts. And it's a 12mm spanner on the nut on both sides, and I've not checked the front ones yet, but I assume it would be the same. Okay, so when I started this job, I looked at the weather forecast. It's a really nice summer's day in July, and I thought, I'll do this outside. So the garage is full with a recent house move, so I don't have any space in there, and I'd get everything outside, laid it on the patio, and look what happens. Look at them clouds. 0% chance of rain, it said. So now I'm having to move things over and do it in the shed. With all 4 nuts and bolts removed, the rack can be taken out. The build should be exactly in reverse, but now adding the pannier racks. Let's see how that goes. I've offered up the panniers. So there's a little spacer that goes into that tube and then bolts through. So I've put them loosely, and the same on that. All 4 have a little, I'll show you, one of those. and there you go in the outside. Okay, so we've loosely fitted the panniers. Nice snug fit. Pretty easy to fit. There's no instructions with them. Use the bolts supplied because they're longer. So the big bolts, 4 big bolts go in there. There's these washers that reduce the circumference of this piping to make it a snug fit. So there's 4 of those. And then, as I mentioned earlier, these are already pre-drilled, so they just bolt on there. So it's a loose fit now, so I'm going to get these tightened up. It's also worth noting that these bolts now have been replaced by the torque, which was a 12mm bolt on the back and a 6m torque. Now it's a 13 and a 13 bolt and ratchet, and that goes for all 4, and including these 2 as well. They're all a 13 and 13 on the new hardware. Then finally, do your 2 10mm bolts, clip up. It's handy to get these 2 in first. Clip up your rear light assembly and your indicators, and then your 2 bolts on either side. And that's your tail assembly. And there we are, completed. Very stylish. Works with existing rack. Very good solid construction and bolting points. Yeah, that's looking good. Now let's test it with some luggage. So here's the final look with the soft panniers from Bagtex. I'll do another review on these. These fantastic bags. I've used them quite a lot on my CRF. So thanks for sticking with me on this one. The weather didn't help, but we've got it fixed. It probably took me about 40 minutes in total from start to finish. No instructions with this, but it's pretty straightforward. I've left a lot of detail and extra detail in there. It's basic tools, and pretty much you should get it done within 30 minutes, given the weather. My name's Mike Lyon. You've been watching Rad Riders. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. If you've got a comment, drop them in below, and please subscribe to my channel. Catch you on the next one.